Hey, what's up guys? This is Oakley and we're going to be doing a siege. This time we're going to break it apart, not do the traditional Roman assaults, Roman defenses or anything like that. There's going to be two barbarian factions, and I definitely love the barbarian settlements. They have a different look to them, different defensive style, and I really love the sort of meandering cliffs and hills and all this stuff on the inside. It definitely looks really, really cool. Anyways, the factions that are going to be facing off against each other are going to be I have Colchis, and my opponent is going to be using the Getai. Now, the deal is here, I don't use Colchis that often, but they are pretty cool. The reason I think they're cool is they have a lot of really cheap units. So in scenarios like this, you can really use swarm tactics, which is something that I kind of like to pull off, is the quantity versus quality. You know, both have their advantages, but sometimes you can pull off just the quantity approach. So take a look at how many units my opponent has. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 units total. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So I number him by 10 units. We still spent the same amount of funds, but he has way, way higher quality troops. Anyways, the defense is going to be taking place with basically, I'm going to be using my quantity to my advantage and having a staggered defensive approach. What that means is I'm going to be putting cheap troops in the front just to absorb the enemy shots. Start to get my volleys off with flaming shot, try and burn down some of these defenses. It's basically not going to amount to too much, but at least it means I'll be doing some initial damage, maybe even hit a man or two. And you know, if my whole army that outnumbers him by 10 units can do, you know, a damage worth of a man or two, that'll really add up. And it looks like we've actually set this aflame, or we should soon. And I actually really like how there is oh no, there's no scorpion on this. In real life, you would have had siege towers actually decked out with scorpions. You would have had them here. You probably would have had them on the second levels. Not that the barbarians necessarily had too many siege towers, but something the Romans and other Greeks would do is just huge siege towers, which had, you know, they weren't always intended to swarm the defenses right away. You would build a siege tower and kind of park it here for days, and it would be a platform for archers to clear out defenses, and then you make your approach once it's safe. Here comes the barbarians. They're literally at the walls. And like I said, I have my early defenses kind of set up. Watch a little bit of this as the barbarians start to pour over. Like I said, we're going to be defense in depth here. So I have up on the open plains here 2 of my step archers. Again, very, very cheap troops. I think they cost you like 200 talents and that's it. But yeah, they're going to be lined up and starting to take pot shots at the enemy forces. More of my step archers are going to be retreating. And basically what I've tried to do is set up these kill zones. So you can already see I've started to put traps on the ground. And that's going to be taking, again, you know, 1 man at a time. Some of these guys. So they're going to be charging out through here. They're already starting to take pretty significant losses. Already down to 122 men with these, on these noble swords, who are very, very good units. So you can watch their assault as they charge through the markets. But more of them getting picked off. They're desperately trying to come at my guys. And all we do is just fall back to further and further positions. You can see, even in the distance, I have more archers, flaming balls, all that ready. It's going to take a lot for my opponent to break through. And one of the cool things about this city, I really should have saved the settlement details, but I kind of like cities like this, where the attacker has the option to actually go here. And take a look at this. This is only accessible by the attacker. So as the attacker, before you want to clear, you want to attack this with your siege equipment, what he could have done is sent archers up here and actually cleared out my positions. I could have had counter archer batteries up here, volleys going back and forth. I'll have to redo this siege, try and pick it out. But this is such a cool, like, setup. I mean, you'd never build a city like this with like an overlapping, you know, attackers can station up. You'd never built this, but for gameplay, it's super cool. So I'll definitely have to revisit this. As I'm drawing him slowly out of position, out of formation, into these areas. And yeah, look, he can sink his like 1,000 talent guys straight into my 200 talent guys. I don't care. Just like in Braveheart, I'm gonna be like that Edward Longshanks, who's basically tells his men to fire the arrows anyways into the mix. My lord, won't you kill our men? Yes, I will. But basically the idea is you'll take out both sides, and you know, if the goal is to kill the opponents, then you know, who cares about the little people. So yeah, that's going to be my strategy this game. Not very honorable, but you can see it's already taking its toll. This guy down to 44 men. Meanwhile, my step archers have renewed the fight, continuing to try and clear out the opponents. It looks like actually most of my guys here were forced to rout when they were charged, and it looks like my guys actually ended up dying. So actually my force is clearing out the pits. Not exactly what I wanted. The catapult shots actually looked like they were able to clear a channel for these guys, so they didn't have to wait for more, slowly moving up the towers. They can actually just come straight up through this gap. But that artillery piece, not super useful. I'm not sure where it is. Yeah, it's still back there. If I were him, I would have moved it closer, tried to take out my forces. But yeah, he's going to have a mustering ground at the leading edges of the city. And this is the thing I like about sieges, is when the sieges play out in sort of realistic scenarios where you have attackers clear the initial walls, they start mustering, and then they rally themselves for the next assault, and the defenders have staggered defenses. This is the kind of like dynamic siege that I like. I really don't like sieges where you throw everything at the holes in the wall and kind of sit for everything to grind out. I think maybe that's more efficient, some people have told me, but it's definitely not fun. I don't like those battles at all. It's actually going to catch some of my archers here. I'm trying to pull them out, but he catches some of my men. That's okay. I'm just trying to delay him. Meanwhile, over here, I broke his other unit with all of the supporting tower fire and some of my step archers up on the top, falling back even further. More and more of these flaming balls that I can use. And here, these are going to be the cream of the crop, the Chimerian Noble Infantry. Or maybe I'm not playing as Colchis. No, I'm playing as Chimera. Okay, sorry. Sorry about the misidentification there. And then I have Chimerian Heavy Archers positioned up here. So, this is only a taste of what my opponent has, to expect from my preliminary assault. And he's already lost one of his 8 units, just taking out a couple of mine. Meanwhile, over here, he's going to start to make his way through my cabbage patches. And these look very weird. Let's get some nice shots of the men amongst the cabbage patches. And now they're going to be pressing forward. I think I'm going to tell my men to hold fire. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm preparing myself. Going to have some very cheap step troops. Going to engage all along the front. Like I said, it's all about just whittling down the opponent. If he's going to charge up in a shield wall like this, even though it's maybe not going to do the most damage, attacking that from the front, nonetheless, I'm going to throw everything at him. He's actually starting to break through and get around the flanks of my guys. And his units, I think these are probably noble spears or something. Yeah, noble spears. So they're going to do pretty well against my stepmen. Let's actually pop open this toggle information. Looks like I only got 2 kills on that unit. And, 2 kills and 2 kills. Yeah, so 4 kills overall, and I'm basically losing my units. But like I said, it's all about delaying tactics, allowing my towers to do the damage, and my archers, in particular, waiting to do the damage. They're still out of range, so that's fine. I'm letting my opponent tire himself out and before he reaches the killing zone. I did, however, pull some of my cataphracts, or step lancers, I wish they were cataphracts, over here. And now they're going to start to get more and more kills. Again, against these isolated barbarian units who've been drawn out craftily by my guys. But in close quarter combat, I mean, look at what my guys have to use. Basically daggers. So good thing I'm not fighting against some noble spears, or I would have been destroyed. And I'm going to kind of sacrifice my cavalry here into those units. And that's going to allow my archers to actually start pulling back. And actually, it looks like they broke before I could pull them back to the safety of all my units up here. And now I have even more cheaper militia hoplites and young axes that are used to absorb shots like that. So they're going to take a fistful of javelins. That's fine. Look at that. Look at what's waiting. Rested troops, more elite troops. So yeah, go ahead and chew through my young men, my young axes. I don't care. Actually, I do care, because now we can see some of the cool animations. Let's watch a little bit of this. And I don't think they ever implemented the axe animation, so we'll be seeing some weird axes functioning like swords. But nonetheless, let's enjoy some of the combat while it lasts. So my guy's doing decently, holding out for a good amount of time. Let's see how my hoplites are doing. They seem to be faring better. Militia hoplites, and under the supervising watch of this tower here, whoever's up in here, I mean, clearly there isn't anyone, but whoever's up in here, if there were someone, would be having a field day on these guys. I mean, this is the easiest shot we have. And my young axes seem to be losing. And this is, let's put this on pause. This is what I like basically tell all of my guys to let loose. And here you can see the massive volley. So my guys are going to be breaking. They're going to try and make it back to my lines. And let's watch as my general basically says, all right, fire amongst everyone. We'll kill some of our own, but we'll take them out with us. So here comes the volley of 3 of the Cimmerian archers. Going to be shooting into these men. And you can see these noble spears with their shields up. They're going to be moving into position, but only going to take more and more damage. And holy crap, I'm targeting this guy. Let's get some shots from here. This is probably going to be good. So slowly pushing up. But yeah, look how much damage these guys are taking. Holy moly. Now he's going to charge forward. And here is time for the trap. As he charges forward, I'm baiting him into these fireballs. And there we go. I'm going to set them off. So let's get a nice action shot of this. What is the best angle for us to watch this? Probably right here. And let's put this on play. Perfect hits with that. But we are, however, going to burn down our own cottages like this. Maybe not what my men intended. And actually, yeah, we're setting the whole village alight with that. So perhaps not the best use. It's going to burn down my my settlements. Actually, doing more damage than the pillaging armies. But nonetheless, it did do some significant damage against those guys. Maybe not the best, what I would have expected, but still pretty good. That unit, yeah, lost about 30 men in the assault. And there you go. We actually destroyed our village with that assault. So a sacrifice perhaps well worth making. And I do have more of those, just to more devastating effects. So I'm going to continue to pull back. So my Cimmerian heavy archers, I kind of want to use more fireballs. I could have probably kept my archers here and killed him, but I'm trying to use, you know, all my defenses to their maximum ability. And I figured, you know, if you have an overwatch position up here, might as well use it, especially considering how my opponent has now finished cleaning through my line, my militia hoplites down here. He's picking them apart, and now he's going to be able to commit more to this fight. So my young axes, still somehow alive, still in the fight, are going to be holding out, killing a couple of his men right there. So definitely doing pretty well for cheap units. And then my last hoplite unit that's remaining on this sort of plateau of the defense is going to form up into shield wall. Pretty cool to see the mix of the sort of Greek-inspired troops fighting in hoplite formation with the barbarian type settlements in the back. It shows the Hellenization at work. And yeah, this is a perfect position for my guys to be. Can't really be outflanked, so my opponent is going to just run straight into me. Meanwhile, if he decides to throw everything against this, you know, it just means my towers can shoot into the now undefended rear of my opponent. He's breaking through my young axes, and I had 2 young axes, looks like I threw in there. So he's had to clear his way through every single plaza. I did have more archers that were running around through the back that rallied, and I was trying to bother him. He threw back his noble horsemen, but in the meantime, I pulled them into position of my towers here. So he's continuing to do damage, so, you know, that's again to my benefit. I'm going to pull forward 2 of my step archers. I figured, you know, this is too tempting. As much as I want to pull my opponent, you know, back into these, what do you call these? Fireballs, I guess? Yeah, as much as I want to pull him back into the traps, I can't really allow him to clean up these hoplites uncontested. So here, we're going to be moving in these archers. Get some nice volleys into there. Let's see what effect that's having. So with his heavy armor, he's not going to be taking too much damage at first, but it will start to rack up. You can see his men are bloody. They're definitely taking HP hits. And some of them are going to start to burn. And mind you, look at these traces right here. That means if he gets any closer, that's going to be my heavy archers are going to be in range. So he's got to watch himself here. How many men does he have left? 100, about 100 before he gets within range. So let's keep an eye on that number. Keep an eye on the sky as he starts to get in range of my archers back there. Yeah, looks like I'm going to pull back any moment now. Archers would be a good time to cover my ass. Where are my archers? Where are they? What are you doing? You lazy cowards. Shoot at him. I think I'm waiting for him to get within heavy shot range. There we go, there we go. Now I put them on fire. Well, let's put this on pause, just so we can watch this. So, again, letting the opponent engage my men to tie him down, and then let's watch this nice shot as the supporting fire. Again, this is why I like these types of sieges. There comes the hail of shots, just coming in from everywhere. You don't see anything. If you were to look up there as a barbarian, all you would see is the streaming sun, and then an arrow would come out of nowhere and gouge your eye out. Holy crap. That was one volley? Did you see that? That was the entire unit right there, and that is why I think I waited for so long, so I could use heavy shot, and look, my god, that was a lot of damage. So that is the power of these heavy archers. They have really good stats, really good, and now you can see, yeah, they could have shot all the way over here before, but I was waiting to get them in heavy shot range. Man, these Chimerian heavy archers are definitely awesome. And now we're going to be coming back in like sharks once more, coming to, you know, bite away at my opponent, who's still caught up. He's throwing everything against this small little hoplite force. This guy definitely deserves some sort of commendations. Only 16 kills, but he's holding back the entirety of the enemy army, which has now been whittled down to about 3 units, plus the artillery unit. I would say the artillery unit is probably out and out for the fight. It's going to do nothing. And man, I wish there was a way to count how many kills my towers got. They are doing work, that's for sure. So I'm going to close with my archers, and I'm going to kind of let him engage in the fight. Again, I'm not too worried about taking too many losses. It's going to mean my guys are now basically point blank firing shots into him, and then I'm going to charge into combat, into melee. Figured I might as well. And let's see, what else do we got going on here? Yeah, nothing. I think I just wanted to engage with his men, tie him up, and then bait him once again with maybe routing units to come back over here. I was kind of trying to, I really wanted to use these fireballs. I mean, who doesn't want to see fireballs do roll through units once again? I was trying to, you know, get that for you guys. But it seems like with my opponent only really having 1 unit remaining, I decided, okay, it's not really going to happen. I'm going to pull back my archers, pull my opponent into range of my Chimerian heavy archers, and that'll do the trick. My opponent's not really going to fall for that. He's going to instead charge my spear wall. Not that that's going to really, you know, get him any further. We've seen just how resilient my guys are holding out in spear wall, especially with towers reinforcing. This is where I think my opponent could have definitely used the help of that artillery piece, definitely moving it closer to shower my guys, break up my defensive positions. And again, now we get shots in the back, and now my heavy Chimerian archers are going to move into position. They've had enough of letting these peasants with bows, you know, pick away at the opponents. They want to get some greedy shots, and I mean, if they can do this in 1 volley, I mean, they want to definitely unleash with some more of that. So let's see how that goes. There you go, a couple volleys. Let's keep a counter on this. Oh, he's already starting to break. Okay, 111 men. Let's see how much this volley does. Ah, I can't click on it. Okay. Yeah, it won't let me click on it. Damn it, guys, we missed it out. How many is that? It looks like there's about a dozen bodies on the floor, so pretty effective. And that wasn't all of my guys lined up to shoot. You still have more men running into position. So yeah, a couple more volleys and I would have destroyed that force. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Apologies for not being able to use all my fireballs. I definitely wanted to. But yeah, I'll definitely try and play more battles on this city itself. I think it has a lot of opportunities for interesting attack and defense, especially with this little plaza that the attackers can use to, you know, clear out the defenses, and then have, you know, archer battles between this plateau and that plateau, lots of hills for fireballs and traps. I think it's an all-around fun fight. Maybe something I'll try and do again as a 2v1 where I'm really desperately holding out, whereas this one was, you know, maybe not that hard to defend. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Let's go ahead and look at some of the stats of this battle. So yeah, like I said, my opponent really only bringing 8 units to the fight, 1,000 men. Meanwhile, I had double his numbers. My archer units here not getting too much. Chimerian heavy archers, even though they only did a couple volleys, get the lion's share of kills, and young axes getting kills here and there. Here's the, you know, men of the hour, the Scythian hoplites, I should say, doing work. Step lancers, again, very cheap guys, not doing very well. And I didn't even commit my noble infantry, who could have held out for a long time. But again, it was more of a cinematic fight. Hope to see you guys in the next one. So thanks so much for watching. Peace out.